Hey there, veteran guardians and new life players. This is Delta 115 bringing you guys a Destiny 2 video. In today's video, this is part 2 of the dungeon Equilibrium, and we're going to be completing the remaining quest steps for the dungeon quest The Way Between. And once the quest is completed, not only that you'll obtain certain upgrades for the exotic sword Praxic Blade, but you'll also find a way to obtain the exotic catalyst for this dungeon's exotic weapon, the Heirloom. Right, without further ado, let's start. So in part 1 of the dungeon, I've already completed the first 3 quest steps, as you can see right here. And then the next 3 quest steps, which are quest steps 4, 5, and 6, have the same objective, which is recover another of the Praxic relics stolen by the Imperium, integrate the light and darkness within it, and bring it back to where it belongs. Now, to say why I said quest steps 4, 5, and 6, well, behind my warlock, right here, are 3 empty pedestals. And all we need to do is find 3 more relics, which means we have to find the relic, complete the dungeon, and bring it back here. Meaning that we have to do this Equilibrium dungeon 3 more times. So the locations for each of them are throughout the dungeon, and I will provide gameplay of where each of the relic is located, along with how to complete each location, because each of them is locked and requires the dungeon's mechanic, which I called it the Taken Force Push. Meaning you have to gather shadows to achieve Shadow Master bar, and once you achieve that bar, you have access to that Taken Force Push, which is needed, because you need to defeat enemies immune to shields, and also hidden switches throughout each location. So I will provide gameplay for quest steps 4, 5, and 6 for the relics only, because you guys don't need to know about the completing the dungeon part. Obviously it's pretty simple to do. Just I will show you the gameplay of each relic and also some gameplay footage or dialogue for returning each of them. So without further ado, let's start quest step number 4. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after you complete the first encounter, for the second relic, it's down here. We have to destroy the blight using the Praxic Blade. That's how we need to start this encounter. This is kind of buggy for some apparent reason, so my fellow guardian here is trying to figure out some stuff. So right now, there we go. So the goal is to destroy these eyes that spends your time, and also gets you the Shadow Master thing, and you need to use it to destroy the enemies that are shielded. And you also need to destroy eyes along the way. So right now, my fellow guardian here is already destroying the eyes, but I'll keep on a lookout for anything, anything I left out. Like that eye over there. So yeah, there's going to be some enemies along the way, so be careful. And remember to carry the Praxic Blade to destroy those little blights, because they're the only weapons to use against them. So we destroyed the second blade. We're just making our way through the tunnel. Now we need to get it. Oh, that is a lot of enemies. Oh, nice. There we go. Once you kill the final one, you can open the switch, and there you go.
Good. Now bring the relic to the greatest source of darkness you can find. Integrate the powers inside it, and purge them of ill intent. You'll know it when you see it. Praxic Guardians are asked to prove our dedication before we join the Order. To undergo trials that will hone our edges. Each trial is unique, tailored to the Guardian. This is yours, Rookie. I can honestly say, I can't imagine anyone else doing this.
Alright, so that's the first relic. And, moving on to the next one. Alright, the second relic is located here on the ship before entering or before you go to the second encounter. So it's going to be at the part where you have to traverse, like, you know, cross to the other ship during hyperspace. So all we need to do is, I think the fellow guardians ahead. Start it off, yep. So here it is. And I think it's already started. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was kind of weird. So, everyone has to be there. Gotcha. So yeah, once, this blight's gonna be spawned right here. And then once you destroyed the blight with the Praxic Blade, you're just gonna go around, find some, Forgotten Eyes to power up your Shadow Master bar. And then kill the, you know, the taking enemies with these shields. So right now, I think there's one more at the back, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna go back here. Got him. So we're gonna move here and head to the other side of the ship. So this is the hyperspace jump I'm talking about. Yeah, and I screwed up mine. But yeah, you had to cross over here, and then there's the second one. Nope. You. And the good part is, if you're doing this with other people, it also boosts up your bar pretty good. So the more people you have for helping you in this quest, the better. There's supposed to be one more, or two more. Yeah. While they do that, I'm gonna stay here. And now the last one, we need to move on forward. Nice. Through here. So once you reach down here, there's gonna be more Forgotten Eyes you gotta destroy that stand your timer. There's gonna be some enemies here. But the final one should be here before you can destroy the blight and access the switch there. There it is. Right now we need to find some eyes. There we go. This guy here. Destroy the blight. And There we go. Taking force push. This will open some doors. And here's the relic. Relic number 2.
The traditional Praxic creed is straightforward. See the darkness, stop the darkness. Not an easy job, but a simple one. We'd rather leave the philosophical tangles to more traditional warlocks, like Pujari or Ulan Tan. Return to light now, both of them. Well, the tangle's not going anywhere, so we'd better face it head on.
So that is technically relic number 2. Now we're going to move on to relic number 3, which is going to be after the second encounter. Alright, the third and final relic will be here after the second encounter. You just need to go through the loading bay. You should be in this area where I am right now. And this one's going to be an easier part because you're just going to be pushing enemies off the bridge. First things first, we gotta wait for the whole fire team to show up here. If you're doing this solo, it will activate immediately, but we just need to wait for our other members if you're in a fire team. So once everyone's in, there we go. Oh, I just got pushed. That was unexpected. But the enemy should be pushed out like that. And once the enemies are pushed, you can move on to the next area here. Any back here? No. So there's going to be more enemies you can push. And then there's going to be these taken platforms that you have to work on. And if you're worried about the timer, don't worry, because some of the platforms will have those forgotten eyes that you can shoot to extend your timer. But be careful with snipers though. That was close for me. And there's a switch there. There's like 3 switches. I just found one of them. There should be one at where Thorin was. I think he already activated it. Yes, he did. So that's activated. There was one on the pipe I just activated. And then there is one all the way to the right where RTRC is moving to right now. And I think once you activate the switches, it'll activate the area. Yeah, so it'll activate this tube that you need to go through. There's gonna be more enemies down there. I'm gonna be left behind because that took so long. But yeah, there's gonna be enemies in there. You're gonna clear them out as normal. That's bait. And there we go. Opens and says doors, and here's the final relic.
Darkness not burnt away in our flame, but integrated with it. I never thought I'd see the day, much less that I'd celebrate it. I should have known a trial's as much a lesson for the mentor as the student. And now, Yours is coming to an end. I'm rooting for you, rookie.
There we go. So that is the third relic. All you need to do is, once you have acquired the relics, you just need to complete the dungeon, and that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back at the Praxic Temple to proceed to my next quest step, but before I do that, do you guys recall what I said about quest steps 4, 5, and 6, since all 3 of those steps have the same objectives, such as collecting the artifact, clearing the dungeon, and returning the artifact here? What if I told you that you can collect all 3 of the artifacts and complete the dungeon in one run rather than 3 separate runs? That's right. While I was recording the gameplay footage for each artifact location, I completed the dungeon, and long and behold, I have all 3 of those artifacts integrated. So the key to this, if you want to get this done, is basically have a guardian or a player who've already completed this quest. Because once you have that player in your fire team, all 3 of those locations will be unlocked for you, and you can get those artifacts with no problems. That's basically it. So that way, you don't need to do separate runs and get tired of it or find other fire teams. You could get a person who've already done it, go through those 3 locations, get the artifacts, and finish the dungeon. That's it. And because I've done that, I'm going to play all 3. What I mean play all 3, placing each artifact, and it gives us dialogue. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mute my mic and let you guys hear the dialogue. Okay? So here I go.
I died 13 times during my own trials. There was a coven of dark guardians practicing witchcraft in abandoned hive tunnels, painting over their runes, forging weapons of sorrow. Not dredgens, but aspirants to the hive. I thought for a minute, for an hour, that I would meet my final end there. But they burnt away in my solar light, and I didn't. There's a lesson for you. I was granted the Cormorant Seal in my 9th year of duty. Earlier than some, later than others. I wanted that recognition. To be not just a Praxic, but trusted and respected within the Order. Turns out, that respect didn't mean what I thought it did. Its best use is as a tool. They'll listen to me when they see the Praxic Temple's flame relit. They might take my seal away after, but they'll listen. Watch it. The dark is rising. Don't let it consume you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have moved on to quest step number 7, which is open the taken portal in the inner temple and face the dark. Now before I do that, you guys saw what I did after interacting with all these 3. I got upgrades for the Praxic Blade. So I got the offensive form for quest step number 4, the Invigorating Blade from quest step number 5, and the Gyro Core from quest step number 6. So we're going to get one more, and I believe once we complete further steps, we should be able to get the Catalyst for the Praxic Blade, which is Energy Conduit, which is a very useful one, by the way. So let's go and... Where's the taking portal, actually? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, you don't see it because the activation thing will be visible, but go to this spot. If you don't see the word activate, just hold down the interact button and it'll show up. There we go. Now we're moving on to quest step number 8. Defeat the lingering shade of Dredgen Sere and restore the Praxic Temple. Ooh. Okay, so I think I need, yep. You're going to need the Praxic Blade for this, so rally up, and let's go. Sorry about that, my lightsaber wasn't responding, but holy snap, we're in. So I guess we need to charge up the bar. So what charges up the bar? Oh, we gotta do this first too. Okay, so I have to kill the thrall. That's what I have to do. I think I get it, but I gotta do this quick because I don't have enough time for the in shadow. No. Oh my god. I did it.
Our trials ask, what are you willing to do to forge the world you believe is right? We should have asked, what is right for this world? And by what right do we make that judgment? The temple's flame is relit. It accepted the balance, light and darkness together. The Praxic Order will accept it too, in time. You burn as a sword of our order should. Sharp and righteous, uncorrupted by the power you wield. Deliverer, beacon, guide to our path ahead. Rise, Praxic Warlock.
Nice. Holy snap, that was the hardest encounter. I mean, you could do it solo, but man, the time and the platforms are like really hard and tense. So yeah, I beat the boss on my own. I recommend doing it as a team. Get a fire team for this because there is no way you're gonna do this solo. I managed to barely scrape near the end. Almost lost a few seconds there because if I was like 1 or 2 seconds late, I would have restarted that entire boss fight all over again. Oh my god. Alright, our next quest step is commune with the Praxic Fire. Ah, okay. So this is the attunement. So meaning that you can attune your weapon or armor piece that you want. So whenever a counter you finish, you can get a guaranteed weapon roll. Okay, I will do this. Now keep in mind though, you can get the exotic catalyst here for the heirloom, but you have to get the exotic weapon first in order for it to show up here. That's what I'm told. And you can only attune weapons that you already unlocked. As you can see, I do not have this legendary weapon, the Volcanic Shade, because I never got it unlocked, which means it will tell you like this. So if you don't have a weapon, you have to get it from the dungeon, then you'll be able to attune it. So for now, I'm going to attune this, and I'm good to go. So yeah. So by completing most of the steps, you should be able to have access to the attunement, allowing you to focus on a weapon or legendary armor piece of your choice. My bad on that. So our last and final quest step is to visit Honor on Mars. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Tharsis outpost for our final step of the quest. Talk to Honor. I'm gonna go turn off my lightsaber for this. Or Praxic blade, sorry.
Reporting in.
Let's go talk to her. The long-held tension in Honor's posture is finally gone. Hey, former rookie, she says, you made it. Light and darkness united in our temple. I'll show the other Praxics. Rub their noses in it. You passed your trials with flying colors. Welcome aboard. Honor's grin at last is like the sun rising. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Way Between quest is officially completed. And you also get a tron for it too. And that's the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and check out my YouTube channel for the latest Destiny 2 and other gaming content. And also, if you want to get notified and for extra content, you can check out my socials, which the links will be down in the description box below. That is all, my fellow Guardians. This is Delta 115, signing out.